One of the biggest reasons that Ethereum is so fascinating is that there's all these ways to make passive income with it. So you can just buy Ether and hold on to it, wait for the price to appreciate. You can stake Ether on Ethereum 2.0 and earn passive income that way. But of course, both these methods require you to have some sort of startup capital. In case of staking, you have to have 32 Ether. But because Ethereum is a world computer that supports smart contracts and does DeFi, then there are all these other ways to make passive income. Some ways you don't even need really any money to get started, as long as you have some technical skills and the exact technical skills that I teach you on this channel. And so that's what I'm talking about in this video as a blockchain developer who works the Ethereum protocol on a daily basis. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. So Ethereum really is a magical place. It's a playground for early adopters and people with technical skills because it has this rich DeFi ecosystem that are powered by smart contracts. And it's a world computer, so we have all these applications running on top of it that let people make more money. So, developers can come in and create their own smart contracts to reap all the benefits of this ecosystem and earn passive income. And one of the keys to making this such a huge opportunity is a DeFi instrument called a flash loan. So this is where you can borrow millions of dollars in cryptocurrency for free, with zero money down, as long as you pay it back in the same transaction. And there's no risk that you can lose this money whenever you borrow it. And this is one of the keys to unlocking the different strategies that I'm going to tell you about in this video. And so that's why I'm holding the Flash Loan Masterclass next week on Wednesday, March 31st. So sign up with the link down below to hold your spot today. All right, so before I detail all these strategies, I wanted to do a quick recap on how a flash loan works and clarify a few things because there's a lot of confusion in the video I released last week talking about this. So first of all, let's look at how an Ethereum transaction works. So let's say I send cryptocurrency from my account to yours. That's a really simple transaction with one instruction. Basically, just send cryptocurrency from one account to the other. So you can do complex transactions in blockchain. That's what you do whenever you're a blockchain developer. You write smart contracts that have functions. They could have multiple steps, like step 1, step 2, step 3. So in this case, step 1 would be, you can borrow millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, and then after that, you can use it to do something like, trading, for example, and then you pay it back on the same transaction. And here's what's really critical about this. You can't lose this money whenever you borrow it. I saw some people in the video saying like, oh my gosh, you're like telling people to borrow money that they can lose and it's going to ruin their lives. But it's different how, it works in the traditional financial system. You can't really do flash loans. It's one thing that makes blockchain so powerful because this is basically risk-free. The only risk to you are the gas fees that you might pay whenever you attempt these transactions. All right, so the first strategy that I want to talk about, how you can, earn extra passive income with flash loans on top of Ethereum, is DeFi Leverage, okay? So, as always, there is a little bit of risk with this strategy, and it does require a little bit of your own money, but we'll move to the, less risky strategies where you don't need money here in a second. So, what do I mean by this? Well, basically, one of the biggest crazes in DeFi right now is, liquidity mining or yield farming. This is where basically you deposit cryptocurrency into an application and it gives you brand new tokens as a reward for doing that, and it's an incentive for new users to, come and provide money to the apps that need this liquidity. So let's take an example of like Compound Finance, for example. So Compound was one of the earliest DeFi apps on top of Ethereum. It's a money market app where you can deposit funds, earn interest, and then borrow money on the other side for an interest fee as well. So for example, you can deposit cryptocurrency like DAI, for example. This is a stable cryptocurrency whose price doesn't change. You can earn 7.4% APY on it. You can do the same thing for USDC coin. The cool thing about these cryptocurrencies is that they are stable coins. They don't have any volatility associated with them. And you can earn this passive income reward, okay, and the cryptocurrency itself, but then you can actually own bonus tokens with Compound's own cryptocurrency that they issue. That's part of the liquidity mining incentive, is you give money to their application and they give you extra tokens, which is different from the ones you deposited, as a bonus. So you can take this APY and instead of just having like 7%, you might get like 10, 13, 14, 15%. So here's where you can take this to the next level with flash loans. You can actually increase your exposure to where you can basically, take some of your own money, let's say some DAI, and then you can multiply it by, maybe 2 to 3 times and get a much larger exposure to the application that way. Okay. You take out that flash loan, and then instead of, let's say you were going to deposit 100 DAI, now maybe you can deposit like 300 DAI, and then you turn around and borrow the DAI that you used for the flash loan. Okay. And then you pay that back, okay, back to the flash loan provider, all in the same transaction. And now you've increased your exposure into this application. Now, of course, you're going to pay an interest fee for borrowing this money, but the interest rates will cancel them out because you're borrowing less than you've deposited, and you're just borrowing the amount that you need to pay that flash loan back. And how you're really making more money in this case is by the bonus comp tokens that you're earning from this liquidity mining incentive. And so that's one way you can use flash loans to increase your exposure. You can write your own smart contract to do this. Now, as always, there like I said, there is risk associated with this. You can face liquidation. So if you try to use too much leverage and your outstanding debt, creeps into your collateral, then yeah, you can risk liquidation. So you can lose money this way if you're not careful. But let's look at some other ways to use flash loans and earn passive income with Ethereum that are way less risky. So strategy number 2 is for arbitrage. So this is basically where you spot price discrepancies on different cryptocurrency exchanges. So let's say exchange A, the cryptocurrency is selling for, $100, and let's just say exchange, A here. And then on exchange B, it's selling for $101, okay? So that's where you can essentially buy the cryptocurrency here and then sell it here for $1 profit. Now, $1 doesn't sound amazing, but what if you could do it at scale, right? What if you could borrow 1,000 units of this? Then you multiply this $1 profit across 1,000 units of cryptocurrency, and that would be $1,000 profit. And so scale that even further. What if you could do it for 10,000 units? What if you could do it for 1,000,000 units? Or what if this price spread was even bigger? So there are lots of different variables that could, affect the profitability of this. Again, you could do it not just once, but you could do it twice. You could do it 100 times. And that could also increase the profitability of this strategy. The cool thing about this is you don't necessarily need any money to get started. That goes back to the flash loans that I was talking about. So you can do a complex transaction with smart contracts where you can borrow, money with flash loans, millions of dollars of cryptocurrency with no collateral. You can do it basically for free to help execute this. Now, you don't always need millions of dollars. Sometimes the opportunities are smaller than that, like I talked about a minute ago, and you just do it multiple times. But that's how it works. You just borrow the money with a flash loan, execute this arbitrage transaction, and then pay it back as soon as you're finished, and then you'd walk away with the profit. And that's basically zero risk. The only risk is if you attempt the trade and it doesn't work for some reason, then you might lose out on the gas fee. Now, what else do you need in order to make arbitrage opportunities work? So of course you need the smart contracts to do this, and you might spot an arbitrage opportunity where you could just call that smart contract manually. But in most cases, you're going to need a bot that watches these opportunities on multiple cryptocurrency exchanges and then strikes whenever the opportunity is hot. And you want that bot to be competitive so that you're outrunning other arbitragers who might be watching the same opportunities, or maybe you just look for opportunities that nobody else is watching yet. Those are the 2 ways that you get to the ideas first, but I'll give you some hints on that. You can look at like a list of decentralized exchanges because there's lots of different exchanges out there. You could look at Sushi Swap, Uniswap, 1inch, and the list goes on and on. We're starting to see more decentralized exchanges pop up on Ethereum compatible blockchains. And so when you take all those different exchanges and all the possible cryptocurrency pairs out there with ERC20 tokens, there are literally thousands of tokens on top of Ethereum. The possibilities are basically endless. All right, so strategy number 3 that you can use flash loans to earn passive income is liquidations, okay? So this is basically where you find people who have delinquent loans and then you process the liquidations on behalf of the DeFi protocols themselves. So for example, compound finance that I was talking about earlier, so let's say somebody borrowed too much money against their deposit, and their deposit was now delinquent in the sense that they were risking liquidation, then you can actually process that liquidation. So that basically means you can watch for these opportunities. You can take out a flash loan. All right, so you take out the flash loan, you process the liquidation to pay the protocol back, okay? And then you actually get a fee for doing that, okay? And then you pay the flash loan back once you do that, and then you walk away with a profit. And so, of course, you would need smart contracts to facilitate these transactions. And then you also need some sort of bot, just like the previous example that I talked about, to make this a truly passive income opportunity where you just sort of set and forget it. The bot looks for these opportunities and then processes them on your behalf. It just calls the smart contract. It borrows the money with flash loans, so you don't need any money down in order to do this. It does the liquidations for you. You just have to pay the gas fees. So that's something I don't think I was really clear about earlier. So, this is a completely passive income opportunity once you set it up. The arbitrage opportunity is passive whenever you have the bot created that watches for the arbitrages for you. And the DeFi leverage example is completely passive because once you deposit money into the smart contract and you start the liquidity mining incentive, then you don't have to do anything. It just earns the money passively for you. So those are 3 different ways that you can earn passive income on top of Ethereum with DeFi, with smart contracts, with flash loans. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's why I'm going to clarify everything and show you inside the Flash Loan Masterclass coming up on Wednesday, March 31st. I'm going to show you how you can borrow millions of dollars of cryptocurrency with zero money down to do these kinds of strategies that I'm talking about. So sign up for the link down below to hold your spot today. All right, so that's all I've got. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so more people can learn about blockchain. If you like this stuff, you're as fascinated with this technology as I am, and you can't wait till the masterclass, and how can you get started today? Well, you can go to my YouTube homepage. You can find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. If you like those, you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely and become a real world blockchain developer so that you can land a high paying job, become a freelancer, build your own project, I can show you how to do that over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding background become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right. So that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.